base comes in scale 1 to 1. We will change to 2 to 1. Let's repeat this one more time. If you want to have isometric view, use the projected. And this one, make sure that change the scale and also change to the shading. Go back to the annotate and select your offset. And add the center line here. And one more center line here. Actually, I don't need this one because this creates this problem here. You don't need to have that. I don't have on my handout sheet either. So that's all you need for center line to clarify this. Any questions so far? One thing I want to show you on this one, the rest of the dimensions are straightforward. This is the one that you would use for annotate, thread, holes, and thread. We have used this feature before for hole. Remember, for the counter bore hole or any type of the hole that you use the hole feature. Here, if you use the same one, you can get this one automatically. You don't have to type. So that's a nice feature there that you don't have to worry about. Just select that and give a location. It shows 3/8, 16 UNC, which is supposed to be automatically 2A, again, external thread. If it was 2B, would be internal thread. So that's pretty much what we need. And the rest of the dimensions are the same. What I have done also, showing this format here to have a center line for this first. And then don't need to have this too long. If you want to reduce a little bit, you can. And then add in this dimension, make sure that you pick this option without, you don't use this one or this one. Try to do right click and select this option, arrowhead inside. So that gives you this nice illustration here, everything, they don't run to each other, and also it gives you the center line. So that means that this is the one helped us to create this arc. So it would be helpful to say, okay, all these bend center where it is. Going to add in this dimension again. Oops. Right click option. Before you left click and right click option, arrowhead inside. And just go ahead, use that. One thing I did not change on this yet, I need to change, is the number of decimal places. So to do that, remember we have done this before, just go to Manage, Style Editor. You don't want to change individually, you want to change all of them. Go to Dimension, expand that dimension tab, and then you see there are choices here, and see default, which is still on the same English system here. Come back, add precision to, I have 3 places. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So that changes to that. And because you have these dimension that requires to have 3/8 and other things. Okay. These two stays black. Remember the reason for that? Because they don't belong to the same layer. So what we do usually go to annotate, select these two, or just one at a time. Or you have to select one at a time, and then change to dimension. Select them. Go, make sure you're on the annotate tab. Go to this little arrow, drop down arrow, say you want to have this one belongs to be belonged to this ANSI dimension red. Okay, so that switches to that layer. You don't have to worry about it. This belongs to another layer on the inventor settings, so that's why it stays black. All right, so then rest of this stuff is the same we have been doing. Basically, just add one more dimension for the small one here, same way. Dimension option. So these three are showing that they're all exactly the same center, and this happens to be this dimension that we have here. And then there's one dimension that I have here for this one. Taking these two and adding the diameter symbol. I have not shown you that. So make sure that you have this dimension here and add the diameter symbol before the number. So they're all cylinders. So the rest of them I have, but this one is not shown on your handout sheet, this diameter symbol. And if there's a way to pick the line itself is the best way, then automatically would give you that. You see the diameter symbol automatically comes in. In this case, I could have done that too. I could have picked this one. It gives me diameter symbol automatically. When you pick 2 points, you have to add that yourself. I just did that to show you that reason. So this one I don't want to show here. I want to run to outside, even though it's a long extension line is fine. And then also it crosses this. Remember that one of the rules was not to cross dimension line, but extension line can cross. If you come up here, it's not wrong to do that, but my handout sheet, you see that like that. If you do it like that, it's okay to have also this way. You don't want to run the text inside, it's not very clear. Or just to show like that. And the reason I didn't do this side, because I have to dimension this here. That gets on the way. So you have this point and this line. This point, actually, you have to pick the point on that one and make sure they're uniform as far as mechanics of the dimensioning. Basically, then you have a length of this one and on the same level here. And you have more length for this one here. And see their typical dimensioning. That completes all your drawing. Any questions?